Truck race. To your top 10, Christian Eckes. Second, Jake Garcia. Third, Chase Purdy. Fourth, Jesse Love. Fifth, Ben Rhoades. Sixth, Grant Enfinger. Seventh, Dean Thompson. Eighth, Kane Honeycutt. Ninth, Tanner Gray. 10, Nick Sanchez. Congrats on Christian Eckes getting his second win of the season. Great way to end the season. Get some momentum for next year. Your stage winners were Tyler Jeske first in stage 1. Corey Heim first in stage 2. There was 10 lead changes, 12 cautions. Tyler Jeske had the most laps. Your 2023 Craftsman Truck Series champion was Ben Rhoades. Grant Enfinger finished second. Corey Heim finished third. And Carson hocevar finished fourth. Corey Heim finished 18th. Carson hocevar finished 29th. The truck race was the worst truck race I ever watched. It was terrible. There was barely any clean racing. No one was giving anyone respect. This was downright ugly. It was an embarrassment for NASCAR, embarrassment for stock car racing. It was a gimmick. It was a gimmick race. NASCAR said this format's not a gimmick. But this race, you could sure make it a gimmick. You should sure make this race a gimmick, and that's what they did. I mean, I feel like one of the reasons it is because the truck race, there's just no respect. The truck riders, they're a bunch of young, spoon-fed, silver spoon kids. A bunch of silver spoon kids, young kids, early 20s, late teens. They just don't have respect. They don't have the mental capacity to control their emotions. They're just making bad decisions. They're wrecking. It's just not clean racing. As we all know, the Carson hocevar and Corey Heim incident was pretty much all-star with Carson hocevar driving too aggressive, making a bad decision, and he wrecked Corey Heim. And he did not cost Corey Heim to lose his championship. Corey Heim did it to himself. Because then later on in this race, Corey Heim chose to take retaliation back on Carson hocevar and run him up into the wall. And he cost himself a championship after that, and he also cost Carson hocevar a championship. And yes, I get it. Corey Heim did it. He retaliated. He was mad. But the reason this is, to me, I think what Corey Heim did versus what Carson hocevar did was worse, because Corey Heim did it where Grant Enfinger was leading. This was 4 laps ago, and Grant Enfinger was leading this championship. He was beating Ben Rhoades by a spot. Ben Rhoades wasn't gaining anything. They were just kind of staying there. Grant Enfinger was going to win this championship if it stayed green. But instead, Corey Heim interfered with the championship and chose to retaliate at Carson hocevar and wrecked him and took out Carson hocevar, and that's why he finished 29th. You know, Carson hocevar was apologizing. He was upset for making that mistake to Corey Heim, and I understand why Corey Heim was mad and why he retaliated, but you cannot be retaliating at that point in the race. It was a terrible look for NASCAR, terrible look for the championship. And then later on in this race, we almost had Ben Rhoades was leading, and they had this led to 4 overtimes. The second overtime, Zane Smith misses a shift, wrecks into Ben Rhoades, busts in this flipping corner panel, and that almost cost Ben Rhoades a shot at the championship. Now, that's not Zane's fault, but he missed a shift, and we almost had Grant Enfinger winning the championship. But luckily it didn't, and Ben Rhoades was able to stay in front, and then going into the last restart, they were able to finally race clean, and then going into the last turn, Grant Enfinger was coming on new tires, and I mean, Grant Enfinger could have bumped Ben Rhoades out of the way to win that championship. He was on a bumper, but he chose to race clean, chose to race with respect, and not interfere with another driver to win the championship. And Ben Rhoades went on and won the championship. So, congrats to Ben Rhoades on winning this championship. I mean, it was a mess. I mean, I get it. Corey Heim should have won this championship because he was the best truck that day. But due to the inexperience and the disrespect that drivers have, and they race like freaking dog crap, that's what happens. You have a messy championship race. Congrats to Ben Rhoades. That's his second championship. Got another championship for Ford in the Truck Series. I mean, his post-race interview was hilarious. He was getting pretty tipsy, getting drunk out of his mind. It was funny. His first one was funny, so I think that's why a lot of people were kind of wanting him to win the championship because they just won another funny interview. So yeah, congrats to Ben Rhoades. Let's move on.